Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. We are in sunny Los Angeles and thank you to everyone joining us all across the world. Everyone in the UK now has a taster of what the US audience has to do when it's Manchester United games and the United Stand live content. 7 p.m, well just past 7 p.m, we are a little bit late because we had a few technical issues, but 7 p.m. out here in LA, I'm actually not feeling the jet lag, I'm feeling okay. Got a good night's sleep last night, loving it so far. 3 a.m. in the UK, and I'm sure there's people from other parts of the world as well. So straight away, get in the chat down below, where are you from and what time it is where you are, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Luckily for us, we are staying at an unbelievably lovely hotel, Marina Del Rey Marriott Hotel, and they have very kindly allowed us to use the rooftop here to film this live stream for you guys. So Marina Del Rey Marriott Hotel, thank you very much for letting us use this rooftop. It's a beautiful backdrop, it's a beautiful location, and it allows us to live stream. So you guys, straight away, we're going to be talking about Ivan Toney. Could he be on the horizon for Manchester United, with Manchester United potentially looking to get a third striker in with a bit of experience? Paul Scholes has been speaking about this. I've been speaking about this for a while. We'll discuss that and get your opinions in for that as well. Also, Manuel Ugarte, where are we up to on this deal and how quickly can this move? João Neves looking very, very close to going to PSG. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there's not been a here we go yet, but it's very, very close. Let me know in the comments down below where we're at on that one. But João Neves, very, very close to PSG. I have my own opinions on what that move is going to do for him and his career. I personally, if I was João Neves, wouldn't be going there. But that means Manuel Ugarte needs to leave Paris Saint-Germain. They need to get the money in for him. Manchester United are there waiting for him. And we've got a little bit of news to bring you on that as well that I'll get into, and discussing loads of other things as well. Pre-season, the squad, expectations, everything like that. But welcome everyone and thank you for joining us. Just quickly, I've got the live chat here on my phone because we don't have any of the technology we usually have. So freestyling a little bit here. Oh, the volume's coming through as well. That's lovely to see. But I want to get the live chat up because I want to get some of your comments in and get your comments in straight away. So oh my God, we've already got so many people in the chat talking about where they're coming in from. So let me know in the comments down below. Let's get Ugarte in. Is Maguire going to another club? We'll talk about that. East LA, let's go here. Manchester United. And why are people talking about how they can only hear it in one ear? Headphones? I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what that is, but I don't know. I don't know what that is, but thank you everyone for watching. I'm just looking at myself there. Wow, the sunlight is bright. But let's get into it. So let's start off with the news that is Ivan Toney potentially to Manchester United. So Paul Scholes has been speaking. Paul Scholes has been giving some honest opinions, some honest punditry. I honestly really like listening to Paul Scholes. I don't agree with absolutely everything he says, but I feel like he actually is a pundit that says it how it is and says what needs to be said. And Paul Scholes does that, and he's very, very brutal and he's very, very honest. So I like listening to him. And he's been talking about the striker situation. Bear in mind the calibre of players that Paul Scholes played with at Manchester United. And he's been talking about the need of Manchester United to sign a proper experienced striker for quite a long time. And he said they've bought another young one in, Xerxes. I would like to see an experienced centre-forward come and help with that virtually guarantee them goals. Whether that man is out there, I don't know. But I think they need somebody who is proven and somebody who is proven to go on and be successful next year. So Paul Scholes there speaking about the need of a proven goal scorer and someone with a bit of experience. And don't get me wrong, I'm really happy. I'm buzzing to have Xerxes in. I think it's a different profile to Rasmus. It gives you something a little bit different. We've seen what he's been able to do at Bologna last year. Still really young, still got room to develop. Ten Hag was a big fan of his. Very unique in terms of his body style and what he can do with the ball at his feet and the flair that he has, facilitating number 9. Basically replaces the Martial kind of role that we had. Martial was never available, but he was also a facilitating number 9. Different players, but similar profiles. And you've got Rasmus, who's really great at running in behind, kind of running off defenders and loves to have the ball played into him and can be a bit more of a target man and, really has that pace where he can get in behind and be threatening through that sense of things. So you've got two different strikers there, and I think Manchester United have got good depth, but it did always concern me that I love the fact that we've got young players in because it is a project and Rome wasn't built in a day, and I don't expect Manchester United to go on and win the Premier League next year. It's about rebuilding, it's about having a squad that is good enough to build towards a future success. Of course we want to be successful now, but we really, really want to build a successful team that we can have longevity in and we've got for the future. So I get all that. We're signing young players. That is the plan under Ineos, and we've seen that. Look at Euro. Euro's only 18 years old. Of course, if you're good enough, you're old enough. But Man United are going into the transfer market, and they're not going buying, a 30-odd-year-old who's just kind of on his last deal, who has been good, but he's probably coming towards the end. They're buying young, they're buying for the future, they're buying hungry players. Xerxes I'm happy with, especially for the price. But what has always concerned me is that you are taking a massive risk. You are taking a massive risk because although he did super well last year, it doesn't guarantee to translate into the Premier League, and we need someone who's going to be able to score 20 goals a season. And don't get me wrong, I think Paul Scholes needs to look at the fact that the team isn't creating enough chances for a striker to score that many goals. We need to create more chances. Our wingers need to be looking up and getting crosses into the box. Our fullbacks need to contribute more. We need to be contributing to creating more chances for our strikers. I mean, Rasmus Højlund was starved of chances last year. So, of course, that side needs to improve. But I really did think to create a balance in terms of the depth of our strikers, I thought we would have had Rasmus Højlund, great young striker, got loads of potential, got loads of attributes to his game that can allow him to build to be a top striker. And then I thought we were going to bring someone in for him to kind of learn under, like an Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's gone and done it in different leagues of English football. He can score 20 goals a season for Brentford. I feel like on his best season, he was only a couple of goals off Harry Kane, who had a sensational season as well. So Ivan Toney can score your goals in the Premier League, and he's proven to do that. He is a killer in front of goal. So I thought we were going to bring in, even if it wasn't Ivan Toney, but someone experienced to kind of give Rasmus that help develop Rasmus, and you have that competition there with an experienced pro and also Rasmus, who is excellent for the future and of course can play games for us now, but can keep building, keep developing. So when we did go for Joshua Xerxes, I thought, you know what, that is a big risk. It's bold, it's a big risk. But there has been talk that Manchester United could actually add a third striker. And now this has a lot of Manchester United fans thinking, why do we need a third striker? I mean, when's Højlund going to play? When's Xerxes going to play? Like, how's the game time going to be split? And what I would say to that is Sheringham, Solskjaer, Cole, York, four absolutely top strikers that thrived under Sir Alex Ferguson, under a team that was absolutely sensational. And they all played their part. They all had a role to play. That's what I would say on that. You need depth. Of course you need depth. But then if we did go and sign an Ivan Toney, which Brentford apparently are set to lower their asking price for him with not much interest in the player, Premier League proven, wants a move, isn't going to sign a new contract, they will lose him on a free next year. If we did go and sign someone like that, I would think to myself, well, why did we sign Xerxes? As good as he is, and I think he's going to do really well for Manchester United, I would have thought, why did we spend that money? But it'll be interesting to see how things play out, because there is concrete reports coming out that Manchester United have inquired about Ivan Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and both them reports have been circulating for quite a long time, with Paul Scholes then saying we need an experienced striker. I think a lot of people hold that view as well. Could we see a third striker come through the door for Manchester United? Keep an eye on Ivan Toney, I would absolutely say that. Everton, I don't really want to negotiate with them anymore after the Branthwaite saga, and to be honest with you, I don't think Calvert-Lewin cuts it. Doesn't excite me. I don't think he's good enough to come in and play for Manchester United. I think he's a decent striker. I don't think he's a top striker. Whereas for me, Ivan Toney is a top striker that I think could thrive at Manchester United. So to keep an eye on Brentford for sure, because if Toney doesn't leave this transfer window, he will be able to go on a free next year. So their asking price could come down quite low for him, and Manchester United could think, you know what, we need to do this, because that guarantees us goals. And it also, what else it does, it gives breathing space to Xerxes and Højlund. Højlund's obviously had a year of adaptation. Xerxes is going to have to adapt as well. A lot of pressure to lead the line for Manchester United. So, and I think Toney would take that in his stride with the confidence / arrogance, some would say. I would say confidence that he kind of oozes. I think he'd take on the shirt and he'd take on that pressure, and it kind of breeds competition but takes the pressure off Rasmus and Xerxes a little bit. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? Going to actually read a few more comments now, get them in the chat. I know a lot of people, straight away are thinking striker's not a priority, we've got limited budget, let's get a left back, let's get a right back. Midfield, wow, we're going to speak about that in a second. But if the opportunity is there, would you go for an Ivan Toney? Would you do that? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, hit a like on the video because we are in LA and we're going to be bringing you so much content while we're over here. We've already filmed something. We've got some exciting plans as well. Hit a like on the video and comment all of your thoughts as well. Anything you'd like to see us do, let us know in the chat. But we've got Phil Houseby saying Hoyland, Xerxes and Wheatley for our strikers. I'm happy with. Wheatley, yes, he's an exciting talent that we're going to get to see on Saturday, hopefully, as well. Has come on the pre-season tour, looks really good, had an excellent season in the academy last year, scored some brilliant goals and you know, he was scoring hat-tricks for fun from what I can remember, so he's definitely somebody to watch as well. Where's the Ugarte news? He's coming soon. A lot of people saying Toney over Calvert-Lewin. Can we run a chat? Can we run a poll right now? We'll run a poll. Toney, Calvert-Lewin, or just stick with what we've got? Let's run that poll and get all your opinions in. Going to be talking a little bit about Manuel Ugarte in a second as well. Got a super chat in from Pryo Gupta saying, hey Beth, excited to watch my first Manchester United match ever tomorrow. Where can we meet you guys before/after the match? Hate to break it to you, the match isn't tomorrow, it's on Saturday. So hopefully that's just a mishap and you've planned it for Saturday. And where can you meet us? We'll be outside the stadium. So anywhere outside the SoFi Stadium. It'll be quite a bit before the game because obviously we do have press access, so we're going to be going in quite early. But DM me, I'll be looking through my DMs while I'm here and we can arrange for you to come and meet us. That's absolutely no problem. So we'll sort something out for sure. Get in the comments down below if you actually go into the game as well. And the poll is up and running as well. Daisy Williams says, would like a Euro interview like the Rasmus one. I mean, we'd love to do that as well. We'd love to do that as well. I'll try my best. I will try my best. I'm going to try my best to bring as many interviews as I can to you guys as well. But we'll see what happens. Can't guarantee, but I will absolutely guarantee that I will try my best. Toney will bring experience and guaranteed goals, says Shah May. Also get in the comments as well, what are the positions Manchester United should be prioritising? Because I'm getting super worried that we are linked to no left backs. We're linked to right backs, left, right and centre. We're not linked to any left backs. And for me, left back is an absolute priority going into next season. So get in the comments about that as well. I'll circle back to the Ivan Toney stuff, but really interesting there what Paul Scholes had to say on that. He's been very vocal about the striker situation at Manchester United, and it has been a problem area for us. Is it because we don't create, or is it because we've not got the right profile in there that has that experience and can bring them guaranteed goals? We know Toney can score him. What he's done for Brentford proves that. Get in the comments down below what you think. Vote in the poll as well. But let's move on to Manuel Ugarte. So, I seen Kev did the 8 PM show, and, oh no, Mark did the 8 PM show. Did Kev do the 8 PM show? I seen Kev did a show today at some point. I'm losing track of time out here. So I don't know if it was the 8 PM, I don't know if it's 2 PM, but I know he definitely did a show, and I seen him talking a little bit about the João Neves and Ugarte situation, so I don't want to repeat too much of what Kev said. But the fact of the matter is, where we're up to on João Neves is, it looks like it's set sealed for him to go to PSG. What I will say on that is, he's 19, he's got such a massive career ahead of him. Okay, yeah, Luis Enrique is a really good manager, but really, you're going to move to the French league where PSG just dominate it and there's not really that much competition and they've not been able to be successful in the Champions League. You're 19 years old, you've got the world ahead of you, City are scouting you, Arsenal are scouting you, United are scouting you. Why don't you wait another year? I get it, PSG is a big club, they can offer big wages and money a lot of the time does win. Luis Enrique is a good coach, but for me, I think that's a wrong move for João Neves personally, but get in the comments down below what you guys think. I actually want to check here on Twitter just to see if Fabrizio Romano actually has put out a fee that João Neves would be going for, because I know Manchester United had him top of the list, because they've been scouting João Neves for a long time now and they really did want him. So for him to go to PSG, I would be interested to see, this is what's coming out now. Apparently, I've got it up for you guys. That was quick of me, wasn't it? 70 million euros plus a player, potentially Renato Sanchez, is what they're going to be paying for him. I look at that and Man United easily could have done 70 million euros plus a player, I think. I mean, PSG are asking for 70 million euros for Manuel Ugarte. I get that Man United have said that price is too high, but for their dream target, their dream signing, I feel like they could have done 70 million euros, and you could have included a player in there. They want Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho could have happily gone across. I mean, not with 70 million euros. You'd knock the price down a little bit there, because Jadon Sancho obviously does hold a lot of value, but it's a lot of value. It was a bit of a hyperbole there. He holds some value, but that's interesting. I have actually come around to the idea is I don't think João Neves would have been the signing for us. I think he's too small to go into our midfield, considering the height that you do need in the Premier League. I know Lisandro Martinez defies the odds and he's absolutely fantastic, but Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes, you need a bit of physicality in there. Manuel Ugarte, 6 foot, not the tallest, but he's very physical. I think would do a decent job. Definitely would do a decent job. So Manuel Ugarte looks like he'll be on his way to Manchester United, because they're going to bring in João Neves. Manuel Ugarte isn't really getting into the team. Luis Enrique isn't the biggest fan. United here have to hold out on their price, because PSG, I'm thinking, will fold. They've just gone and dropped 70 million euros plus a player on João Neves. They need to shift a midfielder. They want 70 million for Ugarte. Of course they do. That covers the cost of them getting João Neves in. But if I'm Manchester United, I'm saying, hang on a second. You've gone and got our prime target without us getting involved, João Neves. You're paying 70 million euros for him. We're not just paying you the money to go and buy João Neves. Hang on a second. No. You bought Manuel Ugarte for 60 million euros last summer. It's not worked out for him. He's not part of your plans. It's someone you could do with getting rid of. We're not going to go and give you an extra 10 million euros to what you paid last year. You're having us on a little bit there. So I think Man United need to hold out. 45 million euros is where I'd be drawing the line for Manuel Ugarte, potentially push it up to 50. That's what I'd be doing if I was Manchester United. Try and have conversations about maybe, the Jadon Sancho deal. Could that be something that we could kind of pull out of the bag to help the negotiations a little bit? I think Jadon Sancho would do really well at PSG, and apparently they really like him, so that could be something that could develop. But at the moment, it's not too developed on that side. Maybe you could start them conversations, but I think it won't be long until you see Manuel Ugarte having a here we go to Manchester United. It just makes sense. Like Romano always says, the domino effect of the transfer window. But get in the comments down below, is Manuel Ugarte enough? And is that the right signing for Manchester United? Because I know there's a little bit of a mixed opinion on it. I can bring you some, I won't say exclusive news. I'll bring you some news that I have heard. I'm not going to reveal where I've heard it from, but it was someone who's in the know. I'll tell you that. It's someone who's in the know. And what I have heard about Manuel Ugarte, and this might be completely off, but the person who told me this is usually very in the know. And they said to me, with Manuel Ugarte, and this is what I wanted to bring in, a bit of something different to the show, because we've heard about the Ugarte and João Neves story, but I want to bring something different for this 3 a.m. in the UK live stream and 7 p.m. in LA, the first of the American shows. And what I've heard is that the scouting team and the recruitment department really like Manuel Ugarte. Data driven, he fits the numbers. Everyone's seen that data analysis about Manuel Ugarte's last year at Sporting Lisbon, the attributes that he had and the numbers that he put up. If you put it into a generator, it comes out with he's the best fit to match up in a midfield with Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo. But you're talking about the Manuel Ugarte of his last year at Sporting before he went to PSG, because last season he did all right, but it wasn't a brilliant season for him. So it goes off the last season at Sporting. So it's data driven by Manchester United, and apparently the recruitment team and the scouts really do like Ugarte, and that's why that deal is being pushed. But I was told that Ten Hag isn't 100% sold on him as a player. That's what I was told. So a lot of people thought it was Ten Hag pushing this, and it was the recruitment and the scouting team that were a bit hesitant. But I've actually been told it's the opposite. It's the recruitment team that really like him, and they're kind of guiding Ten Hag into it, and he's maybe coming round to the idea a little bit more. But Manuel Ugarte is someone that Manchester United like, but Ten Hag's kind of had to think about a little bit. So I thought that was interesting what I got told. Again, it might not be true, but it was told to me by someone who usually is quite in the know surrounding Manchester United. So make of that what you will. We know Erik Ten Hag likes to bring in players that he knows and that he's already managed before. Also loves the Dutch player Denzel Dumfries. I'll talk about that in a second because I have a different opinion on that to what's been going around. But that's the news on Ugarte. Get down in the comments what you think. I find that interesting because, to me, I think Ugarte has all the attributes that Erik ten Hag likes. I do. He's decent on the ball. Okay, yeah, he's not Kobe Mainoo on the ball, but he's decent on the ball. He's very aggressive, works in a high pressing system, which Erik ten Hag likes to use. A lot of energy. He's going to die for the badge. I think he gives a lot that Erik ten Hag likes in a player. So interesting to hear that sort of news the other day, and I thought I'd bring it into the show and let you guys know. So get in the comments down below what you think about that. Let me see what you guys are saying as well. Have a little look at what's coming in. 1.4k, by the way, considering it's 3:30 in the morning in the UK. I absolutely love that. So thank you everyone for getting in the chat and supporting this live stream. Hit a like on the video as well. Zubimendi is better than Ugarte, says Scott Morgan. You have, hi Beth, what is the weather like in LA from Nelson? Weather has been lovely today. It's been really, really lovely. We're lucky out here. Sun shining, a little bit windy, but sun shining. And Sean Socha says, absolutely sounds like what happened with Amrabat last year. With Amrabat, it was the opposite way around. Ten Hag wanted him, but the scouts weren't absolutely sold on him. So it was the opposite way around on that. Mizil Garcia says, seeing United play for the first time this weekend against Arsenal, hopefully they win, and Lenny has a good game. Yeah, it'll be great to see Yoro again. 100% great to see Yoro. Only had one game so far for Manchester United, but looked really good in that game. So excited to see him kind of develop off that, and Arsenal will be a bit bigger of a test, I think. So that'll be good to see. Someone just said, is this a green screen? It's actually not a green screen. Luckily for us, the hotel that we're staying at, the Marina del Rey Marriott Hotel, the hotel staff has kindly allowed us to use this terrace, and it's absolutely beautiful, so makes a great backdrop. But let me talk a little bit about the right back situation and what's worrying me at the moment. So if you asked me, Beth, do Manchester United need to replace Wan-Bissaka with a right back that has more attacking qualities and is better going forward, better offensively, and can play the system that Erik ten Hag wants us to play and play the kind of football that Erik ten Hag wants us to play going forward? Do we need a right back that's better on the ball than Wan-Bissaka and can give us more in his overall game, especially going forward? I would say absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. But if someone said to me, Beth, do we need to do that before we get a left back in? I would say no. We are getting linked to right backs. We definitely want a new right back, and I think we definitely want to move Wan-Bissaka on. He's open to a move as well. Denzel Dumfries swap deal. Let's talk about that. And I wanted to give my opinion on it because I know Mark's spoken about it, I know Kev's spoken about it, but I wanted to get my opinion on this potential swap. First of all, I've seen so much criticism of it online, and I don't understand where it's coming from. I mean, get in the chat down below if you disagree with me, but last time I heard, or last time I saw, Denzel Dumfries was starting, and this is the phrase, highlight this phrase, starting at right back, that position, right back, over Jeremy Frimpong for the Netherlands. Right back, not right wing, right back. I know he's predominantly, plays wing back, Denzel Dumfries, but he can play right back as well. And then I've seen everyone saying, why are we going for Dumfries? It's not an upgrade. He's not that good. Yet, probably the majority of people in here would absolutely be over the moon if he went and signed Jeremy Frimpong. Yet Dumfries starts over him for the Netherlands in that position. So, and don't get me wrong, I think Dumfries is a good player, and I think Frimpong is a very good player that, has a lot of attributes, has a lot of quality, but I don't think Frimpong is a right back in the Premier League. Hey, if he comes in and does that, proves me wrong, fantastic stuff. He's a quality player, but I don't see him as a right back in the Premier League. I know Mark disagrees. Whereas Dumfries, I think he can be a right back in the Premier League, and he also is very good going forward too. I mean, Dumfries a few years ago was way more exciting, to be honest with you. I remember the previous Euros, and it was way more exciting than what he is now. But I think he's 28, decent age, not too old, obviously. Would like maybe someone to be a little bit younger that we're bringing in, but experienced. Played in Italy. Italy obviously takes defending very seriously. Defensively, they're very solid. Played there, and I think going forward definitely offers you more than what Wan-Bissaka can offer you. So I like the idea of Dumfries, and also, you know, it's not somebody that's going to come in and kick Dalot out of the right-back spot. Dalot's doing really well for Manchester United. A lot of people see him as a future captain, keeps progressing, still only 24 years old, I think, 24, 25. When Dumfries comes in, it isn't like Dalot get on the bench, we've got a new right-back in town. I think it's a really fair competition between the two players of who can start at right-back, and I think Dalot edges it, but I think Dumfries definitely puts up a fair competition and still will get game time. Dalot also can play left-back as well, which we know is super important. So, to me, I think Dumfries makes sense. People will say, you know, I know there's a lot of love for Wan-Bissaka in this community, but at the end of the day, he's not somebody that you're comfortable with playing out from the back, which is how we want to play. Onana wants to play out from the back, so does Ten Hag. You've got Luke Shaw there that can do it. You've got Martinez that can do it. You've got Yoro that can definitely do it as well. You've got Dalot, who is really technically good on the ball. Wan-Bissaka has to come and fill in. I see so often when Onana's got the ball and the players have the ball in front of him, and Wan-Bissaka's just there in acres of space, no one pressing him because the opposite team know that, you know, there's no point because he's not that good on the ball either. And we still don't pass it to him even when he's in acres of space. And don't get me wrong, Wan-Bissaka is a quality defender. 1v1, excellent. Excellent. And I think he'd be a really good right back for a lot of teams. But for us moving forward, we need someone who can take the ball off the back four, drive up the pitch, can invert into the midfield, can get crosses into the box, can take on a man going forward, get forward offensively. That's what we need. So I think Dumfries would be a fair shout. Would it be my number one choice? No. But you've got to remember, Manchester United are on a budget. If they can do some sort of swap deal with Inter, they're probably going to look at that. We've not got millions to spend on a right back. So if Wan-Bissaka does depart, I think Dumfries is a decent replacement to come in. I really do. But get in the comments down below what you think, because I know a lot of people disagree on that one. Unknown S says, rather keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Ryan says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bambi on ice with the ball. Does anyone remember what Ricky said about Wan-Bissaka that time? It involves a bike. If anyone can name the quote down below, you get brownie points. Ricky said something as soon as Wan-Bissaka signed, like when he first started playing a game, and he described Wan-Bissaka, and it was hilarious. Let me know the quote if you've got it down below. See if any of you can remember that one. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka's got qualities defending 1v1. We know he can do a job on wingers, but we need someone who's got the overall package that can take us forward, in my opinion. And I think Dumfries is got more strings to his bow, personally. Alistair Guinea, thank you so much for your super chat. Lockie Kent says, hey Beth, 12:30 here in Australia. Looking forward to Sunday's game. Will be at 10 a.m. instead of the usual 2:30/4 a.m. game. Keep up the great work. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff for you. You get a little bit, you know, a little bit of normality. A little bit of normality. It's crazy because, you know, in England we're so lucky because the games are always obviously at decent times for us, but you forget globally what an effort it is to get up and watch these games. I was saying to my producer Ryan before, I was like, you know what, I really like the vibe here in LA, and I've only been here for a day, but I said I could see myself here. Like, it's just having the sun and the beach and, you know, just a chilled vibe. Like, I love Manchester, don't get me wrong, but the weather is so frustrating, and I always feel better when I've got the sun on my skin. So I was saying I love it here, you know, I like it so far. Love's a strong word. I very much like it so far. And then Ryan was like, what about the games? Like, what about Man United? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, getting up at, you know, 3 a.m, like 2 a.m, 4 a.m to go to watch the United games. It is, I'd obviously do it because I love United, but it's a big commitment. And I to be honest, I don't think I could leave behind going to Old Trafford, my season ticket. I love it too much. But yeah, I was talking about that, and it's a great commitment from the global fans out there, and it's a different sort of fan experience, I would say. You guys says Zubimendi is better. Honestly, hope we get a chance to be interviewed in LA. It's not a green screen, guys. 7:33 p.m. Yeah, it's not a green screen. Hope we get a chance to be interviewed in LA. Do you mean us interview you guys? Because let me know more details on that, because we're definitely looking for global fans to get involved with the channel as well. Musty says la 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 la. I think you're talking about La La Land LA there. And yeah, done the rest of the super chats. Thank you everyone for contributing and getting your conversations in. What is the poll? I can't see the poll right now. Is the poll still going? 55% says stick with what we've got. What's the Tony? 42 Toney, and 3 Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin absolutely catching strays on that pole. I mean, that 3% is Ricky, by the way. He loves him. I mean, obviously. But, yeah, okay, so he's basically between Toney and Stick, and you've got 44 Toney and 55 Stick with what we've got. Even, very even. I feel like that's more even than I thought it would be. I thought a lot more you guys would say Stick with what we've got. So people open themselves up to the idea of bringing in a third striker and can sort of see the fact we do kind of need guaranteed goals, because super important position, that striker role. And you know, we've got a lot of games coming, and there will be a lot of minutes for other players as well. I'm excited to see, do you know what I am excited to see? I'm excited to see Rasmus in pre-season. I really am, because he's obviously here now, and I assume he's going to play on Saturday as well. Really excited to see Rasmus play, because I think it's going to be a big season for him. You know, number 9 shirt now, which I think is very much deserved, by the way. Had a lot of pressure on his back last season, never shied away from it, always was trying to be fit for the team, and was fit for the majority of the season. Played minutes upon minutes upon minutes for the club, because we had no one else. I think he deserved that number 9 shirt, so happy for him with that. But, you know, he's got the 9 shirt now, he's got to live up to that. Iconic shirt for Manchester United, that's what been worn by some really good strikers, so I think he deserves it after the effort he put in last season. I think it was a great first season for him in terms of building and developing. Let's kick on from that. So I think it's going to be a really important season for Rasmus. Excited for that. Yuga says, yes, to be interviewed here in LA. I live here. Will be great to see you in and around the game if you go into it. Definitely shout us. We'll be outside the stadium. Did anyone get the quote, by the way? It was like a fish riding a bike. That was Ricky's quote on the way Wan-Bissaka moves with the ball. Got other brilliant, yeah, someone said it in down below, Cinemi Studio. Got other good qualities, by the way. I don't want to go in too much on Wan-Bissaka. I think he's, you know, he gives what he has, and he's got very good defensive qualities, but I just don't think he's the style of the direction that we need to be going with Erik ten Hag. That's all. I think we need to move away from that. But I think he can do a really good job at a different club. A club that is going to be counter-attacking. I think he'd be great at that sort of club. I really do. So I wish him well if he does depart, and I think it's definitely something we need to look at. But like I was saying, I would be prioritising the left-back, and it scares me to death that we're not in for any left-backs yet. Because, you know, all it takes is one injury to Luke Shaw, and he will get injured because of his past injury record. I love him. I want to keep him. I think he's a quality left-back as well as a quality centre-back. But he will get injured, and Malacia isn't even training with the team yet, you know, and he's been injured for a year now, over a year maybe. He's not just going to be able to bounce back. He'll probably get injured again as well. We need a left-back. We can't rely on Dalot to move to left-back. We need a left-back, so that's something Man United really do need to explore. But look, everyone, thank you so much for joining me here in LA. Sun's starting to set now over here, and it was a great first live stream while they're over here. Get in the comments down below all your opinions. So I'm saying yes to Denzel Dumfries. I'm a fan. I am a fan, and I think based on the budget we're working with, if someone said to me now, Dumfries or Wan-Bissaka at United next season, I'd pick Dumfries. I would. And I'm not just going to go along with what the you know, most popular opinion is, which is a lot of people saying, you know, keep Wan-Bissaka until it's someone who can properly displace Dalot. I think Dalot was really good for us last season, one of our players of the year. He should be our starting right back, and I think Dumfries has the attributes that we need of someone who can kind of come in, be a starter for us, but also can kind of compete with Dalot as well, and Dalot still has the edge over him. So I'd be really happy with the Dalot Wan-Bissaka swap deal. Controversial opinion, because I know not everyone agrees with that. I would also bring in Ivan Toney as well. I know a lot of you guys know I'm a fan of his. Every time Mark speaks about Ivan Toney on the channel, he says, Beth's a big fan of his. I am a big fan of his. I think he's a good player. So if the opportunity is there, I would bring him in. However, that'd be the last one for me. For me, it goes midfield. 100% need to bring in a midfielder to play next to Kobbie Mainoo, if not 2 midfielders. But that means we'd have to shift players, and you know, there's been no takers for Casemiro as of yet. McTominay, Fulham might develop, but he'll probably end up staying at the club. So after midfield, for me, then it's left back. We have to sign a left back. I think they're equally as important as each other, to be honest with you. Midfield more so because we need a starter, but left back super important because Luke Shaw will get injured, and we need someone who can play their first team. Then I would move on to address the Wan-Bissaka right-back situation, and then I would think about bringing in an Ivan Toney, a more experienced striker. Because I think Xerxes and Rasmus will be enough. I do. Like, if we go into next season with them two as our strike partnership, I'm not going to be sat here saying, oh no, you know, we've not done it, we've not got an experienced striker. But if you give me the opportunity to go and get an experienced striker like an Ivan Toney, I would say, yes, I think United could really do with that. And I think it just gives us that confidence and that reassurance that we do have goals in our team, constant goals in our team for next season. But of course, we need to be creative as well. And comes with that, I think Amad Diallo should be starting on the right first game of the season for Manchester United. I do. Don't know if Ten Hag will do it, but I think pre-season's massive for him. And I think this is a massive season for him. Ten Hag keeps saying how much more important he is. How important he is this season. You know, Romano's spoken about Amad being an important player for Man United this season, new contract talks. Amad played really well in that game against Rangers. I expect to see him on Saturday. Hopefully he kicks on from that. Was doing well at the end of last season. I think he can grab that right wing spot. Brings in great competition from Garnacho and Rashford as well on the left. And, you know, Sancho's about, Anthony's about. There's great competition there. We need to be creating for our strikers as well, through the wings, and I think Amad can do that. But look, thank you for watching, everyone. Ran a bit over because I've just loved speaking to you. Hit a like on the video, get all your comments in down below. Loads more content to come. And yeah, thank you for watching. We will see you on the next one.